Well, we welcome everyone to another Dave and Dan Discuss. We like to do this every once in a while when there's something worth discussing, and we have something worth discussing here. The administrator has just presented the Dodge County Board of Supervisors his proposed budget for 2023, and my personal opinion is this is the chairman's budget of 2023, but they still call it the administrator's. This will be the first of two videos that Dave Guckenberger, hi.
Hey, Dan.
Supervisor District 11, I'm Supervisor District 10. We're working together here. This will be the first of two videos. We'll do one next weekend also with some more details, but we want you to get familiar, get educated, get informed about what's in this budget. We have some things we'd like to raise and some understandings we'd like you to have when it comes to mill rate, assessed value, all that good stuff that you see all the time, and basically say, well, I'll learn about that some other day. Well, it's important to learn about it today. So Dave has some materials here that he has to present to you, and we'll walk you through it and see what you think, and hope you can join us on November 1st. There is a public hearing. You are the public. We, the supervisors, want to hear from you. So come on Tuesday, November 1st, 6 p.m., and tell us what you think about the budget. But like I say, these next two videos, this weekend, next weekend, will tell you a little bit more about what's in it. And you can go online at the Dodge County homepage, I believe, Dave. Is it on there electronically?
Yep, yes it is.
You can go in there and dial into it on your own and peruse through it, too. So
The budget.
good to have you again, Dave, here.
Yeah.
I'm glad we can do this again. It's been a little while.
Yeah, well, one of my concerns always is the newspaper and how they present the budget, right? And the presentation, of course, is that the mill rate goes down, and that's a good thing, right?
We're winners. The mill rate went down.
The
right?
mill rate
Yeah,
went down, yeah. The mill rate went down.
Yeah.
So the expectation is my taxes will go down. And then we use a house, and we say, if the house is $200,000, your mill rate's going to go down, so your taxes are going to go down. Then,
Yeah,
of course, come
yeah,
December, you open the tax bill, and by gosh,
What's going on here?
it went up.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
So what I thought today we would do is probably just talk a bunch of the terms. I mean, what do all these terms mean? Okay, so we're going to start out the first one. The first one is levy. All right.
You know, when I hear that word levy, I think of the word lever. They're going to put a lever and they're going to pry this much money out of your pocketbook.
Yeah, well, it is. The levy is actually the total number of taxes that governing body, in this case the county, is going to assess to all of the property values in the Dodge County.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right? So, although our budget is about $160 million, what you'll see is the levy portion last year was $35 million, and this year's $37 million.
Is it 160 or 150?
We'll get to the exact number
Okay,
if we need
okay.
to, but for round numbers,
Okay.
the levy is the amount that we directly assess to each of the property taxpayers in the county.
So that's the amount of money that has to come from the property owners.
Property taxes, yep, which you're going to
taxes.
see right on that tax bill in December. So last year, of course, 35.8 million.
Right.
This year, the proposal is 37.8 million. All right, now, what that reflects is actually a 6% increase. Now, they would have you believe that because the mill rate goes down, we'll talk about the mill rate
Yeah,
in a minute,
yeah.
that somehow or another your taxes are going to go down. The absolute reality is the levy goes up 6%, your taxes are going up 6%. And we're going to show you how that all happens today. Okay?
Yeah, without a doubt, it seems to be just like clockwork, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, just so you know, the county, just like all these other taxing authorities, they have a revenue limit. So back in 2006, the state of Wisconsin passed a law and said that because property taxes just kept raising year after year after year, I mean, it'd
Getting
be
too
going crazy
aggressive.
if you'd see, well, they always have some project they want.
Yeah,
They want to
well,
build
sure.
something,
Yeah,
they want new
yeah.
trucks, they want new equipment. There's always a need, and we always want it right now. So,
Well, if you owned a business and the money was out there, you just had to pull it out of someone's pocket, wouldn't you take it too?
I would too. But
Yeah.
the property tax owners, starting in 2000 and stuff, really started objecting. So the legislature changed that in 2006 and said, no, revenue limits, all right? So they dictated the increase that a county can apply to that levy each year.
So what happens if you don't go the max every year?
Well, it's built into the formula. There's actually a
Okay.
whole page formula that lists all your property value. You add in net new construction.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's a limit that they allow it to increase each year.
Okay.
So that's truly what we should be seeing. All right. But this year we have a little surprise from the administrator.
I have a name for this budget. It's called Trick or Treat.
Retreat.
Yes. You
So-
never know what's going to be under that first page.
So this year we have for the first time a proposed for a debt levy.
Oh, must be trick this year.
A debt
Gee
levy.
whiz.
Yeah. So rather than try to find cuts
Yeah.
or savings, and I'd be happy to indicate a couple of them, it's just going to be easier to balance the budget if we throw a debt levy onto the public. Now, there was an attempt to do that for the last 2-3 years. I fought it. Others didn't allow it to happen. This year, we just built the budget with it.
With it in already.
Well, we didn't build it.
Well,
We
that-
just got it last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we were told, lo and behold, here you are. You got basically a $2 million debt levy.
On
so-
top of the operational.
Well, on
levy,
top
right?
of what would be allowed.
Yeah,
See,
on
you
top of
know,
what would be allowed. So they
the
went.
prior year we had 35.8 million, and we'd probably be allowed another 450,000 or something, right?
So they went to the ceiling and then they added this on top of it.
On top of that.
Okay.
Now, you could justify half of that, and I'd be happy to justify half of that debt ceiling, because we borrowed $9 million at the end of 21.
I remember
For
that.
the roads,
Yes,
right?
Right. Yep.
So the service on, well, it was 9.155 million, and the payments on that over 10 years are just about $1 million a year,
Which
or
is-
about half of this 1.950.
Right. Yep.
So I could see half of this, but I'm still not happy that we're trying to do a debt levy where we've never had a debt levy before.
So is that what the debt levy's designed for? Actually, or not?
Yes, most counties have a debt levy, but a lot of the ones that have a debt levy don't have a sales tax.
Oh,
It's a
no
source
kidding.
of revenue.
Okay.
So ever since 2006, and we didn't have this revenue authority, this taxing authority, or this get the money authority, they keep trying to find ways where we can get more money. This is one of them, a debt levy.
Another revenue stream. And we're lucky in Dodge County. We can have sales tax and debt levy?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
boy, I tell ya.
Now, I'll tell you, a year ago, they had a referendum, and right within there, it showed us the total debt levy authority. It's a little north of $3 million, about $3.5 million. So at 1.9, we're not all the way there.
Right,
If we allow this to happen this year, I can be rest assured that we'll be pushing that number up
Yeah.
to the
Does-
maximum.
Does it ever go down?
I've never seen things go down.
Yeah.
No. So that's one term, levy, right? Then we have this thing called a mill rate, right? The mill rate. And that's what we see in the newspaper, right?
That's what everybody talks about. is the
Everybody
mill
talks
rate.
about the
Yeah,
mill rate.
yeah.
The administrator goes up front and he says, here's my budget. And then we're going to levy $37 million and spread over all of the property value. Comes out to, $4.20 per $1,000 of evaluation. The mill rate, right?
Yeah.
Take the $36 million and allocate that over, $7.9 billion. It only comes out to $4 per thousand. All right? However, this is the tomfoolery, as I like to refer to it, or how we play with these numbers.
This is where
Okay.
This is where tricks start.
This is where the tricks start, yeah. So, we have property value in Dodge County of roughly 7.492 million. Billion. Or 7,942 million. $7 billion worth of property value in 22 this year. The Department of Revenue indicates that number is going to increase to $8,629 million, or 8,629,000,000
It's a big number.
next year.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's a 15% increase. If you've been reassessed, some of the communities have been reassessed, they see that increase. But overall, on average, all the property value in Dodge County has increased 15% from last year to this year. Make sense?
Yeah, I looked in the town of Rubicon in 2 properties, and those 2 properties went up 18%, so I don't think it's going to be less than that.
No, and seriously, some people I've talked to, City of Watertown went through a reassessment. Some of these people are seeing a 40% increase. Now, they're not going to see a 40% increase in property tax, because there's a weird number in there called the equalized value, right? Or an assessment ratio. We're not going to go into detail on that. Maybe next month.
Maybe next month. Next week. Next weekend we can do more details. Yeah.
But let's just refer back to the property value. The property values across the county will increase from 22 to 23 by 15%. The levy went up 6. Property value goes up 15. Lots of numbers, right? Lots of numbers.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what do we have? All right. So let's talk about this here. All right. So here's what you have, right? We have a house worth $200,000. All right.
Hey,
But-
here's a picture for you.
Yeah, we'll get there.
This is the house you live in.
$200,000 home.
See that okay?
Last year was worth $200,000. This year it's worth $230,000. Or in Dan's
In the
example,
town of Rubicon, it's worth 236. Same house.
same house.
Same house.
So what we like to say is, hey, the mill rate went down. So if your property value stayed exactly the same, which it didn't, obviously, right? It all went up 15%. If the property value stayed the same,
You'd be paying
you'd be
less.
paying less.
Right.
But here's the reality. Let's look at your other chart. Okay?
Here's the same 2 houses,
same two. But now,
2 different years.
yeah. So your
Look at the bottom. Total tax paid on the first house.
property value went from $200,000 to $236,000. So where you paid, let's get some numbers right off the chart
Well, in
here.
the town of Rubicon, it was $955
Yeah,
last.
$955 last year. What they like to tell you is the rate went down, so you're going to pay $874. But the reality is, see, the house is actually worth more this year.
And if you look at that second house, the bottom part is the 200,000 it's worth, and the roof is the extra 36,000 that it's been valued at in addition to that. So
The reality is that the taxes go up. So let me go right back to that levy. The levy went up 6%. I can tell you your property tax is going to go up 6%. It's just the way it works. It's basic numbers. Right?
And look at the bottom number, how much tax is on that same house you're living in? $1,037. That's more than the $955 you paid last time,
Yeah.
even though the mill rate went down.
The mill rate went down. So this is what most, well, I mean, let's just talk with our administrator, talk about our budget. They present the budget as if it's a good thing. Your mill rate went down.
Yeah.
That's what they talk. The reality is it's going to go up.
If the levy goes up,
If the
the
levy
tax
goes
has
up,
to go up.
your tax is going up,
has to. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just basic math.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is just show one more thing here, right? So here's just a real simple example, right? So basic math. What I have is 358, which is roughly the levy in 22, it's 35.8 million, over the property value, 7.492 billion. And then I took the same number after increasing the denominator of this basic math function here, and you see the ratio goes down, right? It's just basic math. What we're doing is we're increasing the size of the denominator, leaving the numerator the same, and of course the rate goes down. My rate went down. But that doesn't equate to your property tax bill. Because the whole reason this number went up is because your property value went up. Okay? That's you on the bottom. So you're paying taxes on more value
Yeah.
and ultimately more taxes.
So they shouldn't be bringing the mill rate forward to give a picture of what's going on. They should bring the actual levy. The bottom line should be what we're looking at here.
If they would be realistic, they would say, here's the levy.
Yeah.
The levy went up 6%. That's what you're gonna see
Yeah.
on your tax bill.
Yeah.
The other night I said, on the board floor, I said, if the levy goes up 5%, you're gonna see a 5% increase. Now, the reality is, and there is a reality, all of the municipalities see different, values.
So it's not consistent line, one line across everything.
Correct. Town of Rubicon might be fully assessed. You're at 100% assessment ratio. Town of Ashburn, we're at 84%. Okay? So the portion that's allocated to you is going to be maybe not 6%, the full 6% increase. Might be 5.8, might be 6.1 to me. All right? But the bottom line is it's going to be very close to that 6%. That's just the way it is.
So when you get bumped up a bit, we'll make it bumped down a little bit, but the 6% is really what they're
Right.
aiming at here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've just started looking through the budget, and of course, the city does it, school districts do it, they all do it. They all want to talk about the mill rate.
Yeah.
They don't want to compare your mill rate to, Jefferson County or Outagamie County or whatever.
That's apples and oranges. There's nothing
there's-
that can be compared, really.
It's no comparison.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bottom line is, this is what we're paying for the level of services we're getting,
Yep.
and we're going to pay 6% more next year. And that's the bottom line. So
But they'll come up there and they make you feel good about it in a
they'll
way.
make you think like it's going down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the part that bothers me.
Yep.
So truth in advertising,
Hmm.
and that's kind of why we're doing this today.
Right. So this is sort of an introduction for you. Do you have anything else you want to say today, you think, or?
No, I think
Yeah.
last year, well, excuse me, not last year, in 21, we borrowed $9 million for the highways. We didn't allow that to happen in 22, as you know.
Correct.
There is no proposed borrowing in 23. We do have ARPA funds, and the administrator has presented a budget where we're going to spend a lot of those ARPA funds on highway projects. As you know, we did give a lot of money to community groups, a good amount of our ARPA funds.
Nearly half, I think, isn't it?
Not quite,
Not
I
quite,
think.
but it
Yeah,
was a good amount, though.
We spent a bunch on
Yeah.
on our own projects,
Yeah.
Dodge County. The balance of that, I think, is going to be spent on Dodge County projects, which is good. We're going to target a fair amount of that to the roads, which we need. And then we're going to see what the other priorities are in this budget. And as in the past, I think some of us are going to pour through this budget pretty hard, and perhaps make some recommended changes. So,
That's the goal, and we would like you, the public, to do so also. Get online and look at that budget, peruse through it also. Watch this next video coming up next week. We will have more details about what's contained in that budget and some thoughts we have about it. And I hope you can join us November 1st, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Public hearing for this budget. Be involved. We need you to be involved to make it work. But thanks for joining us, Dave.
yeah,
Great getting together.
if they have any questions,
Yeah,
feel free to call me.
Call your supervisor.
Call
Say
him.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to call your supervisor. We need you to make contact. We have to let them know you are out there too. And we're happy to receive your calls also.
Absolutely.
Always.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. We'll see you next video.